And we're live.
We are.
And welcome everyone to the online premiere of the Montana Backcountry Discovery Route Expedition documentary film. We're coming to you live from the headquarters of the BDR organization in Seattle, Washington. I'm Inna Thorn, Executive Director, and I'm so excited to have here with us tonight Bryce Stevens, who is the co-founder of the BDR. He's our Routes Development Director, and he is also the co-architect of the Montana BDR route.
Yeah. Thank you, Inna.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here with us. This, of course, is a live broadcast, so anything can happen. If for some reason we go dark, you guys can still watch the film. It's queued in, but hopefully the control room has everything under control, and we'll proceed without any problems. So it's great to see so many people joining us for this broadcast. This film, or this route, was released in February of this year. And since then, we had over 70 dealerships across the country who hosted a screening of the Montana BDR film. But we know some of you were not able to watch the film at a local dealership. So we are really excited to finally show you this film and talk a little bit about the route, what people should know, some of the highlights, some of the behind the scenes, and how the route came to be. And that's why we have Bryce here with us tonight. But before we go into that, Bryce, I think everybody is really interested to know what is coming down the pipeline for the BDR routes development next year.
Okay.
So why don't you go to that green screen that you love so much and tell us about it.
The dreaded green screen. Okay, here we go, guys. I'll give it a shot.
Let's start with what we already released this year, and then what we have coming up after Montana.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. Got to back up into the screen here. Yeah, so this year we've already launched the Ozarks route here. There's the Ozarks right there. And obviously tonight we're releasing the Montana. Coming up soon, we're going to do the Adirondacks in upstate New York. You see it right here. And then later this fall, we're going to do the Hells Canyon, which is on the border of Oregon and Idaho. So 4 routes this year.
Okay, great. What about 2027? What do we have slated for next year?
Okay, so our main route in 2027 is going to be Michigan, right here, and that includes the Upper Peninsula. And then our first BDRX of the year will be Grand Staircase in southern Utah, right here. And then you guys have heard us talk about this one. It's the driftless route. This one got delayed by about a year. That one's right up here on the border of Iowa and Wisconsin. And I'm getting to them. And then finally, we're finishing up with the Red Desert, actually. And we're going to do an expansion of the Red Desert. So that one, that was our first route. If I can get to it right there. Well, the first route was only 150 miles. We really didn't know what we were doing with BDRXs then. And they turned out a lot to be a lot bigger. So here we are. So, many years later, we expanded this to 500 miles, and it's going to get its own film, finally.
And what about, just give us a sneak peek of the main routes that are currently in development past 2027.
Okay, yeah. So BC is going to follow Michigan, and then Ohio will probably follow that one after that. So, and we've got several other routes in the queue that are ready to go, and I can't tell you what they are.
Yeah, and you guys are really methodical about what routes we prioritize for development and release, right? Like geographically, you're actually looking at the map and making those decisions very thoughtfully. So like, what's the process there?
So especially with the X's, we have so many in the queue right now, and our goal is to do 4 routes a year, 1 main route, 3 X's. And when we do that, we want to cover the West Coast and the Rockies, and then we're going to do the Midwest here and Central region, and then all of the East Coast. We're working in all of these areas, and we're trying to pick 1 from each of those buckets per year if we can. We can only probably do 3 X's a year, but if we could do 4, we do 1 in each of the regions at the same time. So everybody is going to have a route near them coming out every year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Can you just cover the difference between BDR routes and BDRXs? Because we get that question a lot. People are confused. Like, let's set the record straight.
Yeah. So that is a question that we get a lot. And BDRXs are different than BDRs in that they're a loop and they are smaller. So they're meant to be something you can do with a shorter time frame. Our regular BDRs are something like 700 to, the longest ones are 1,300 miles. I mean, those are big, epic trips. But BDRXs are meant to be something that you could do in maybe 3 to 5 days. And, there's somewhere between 400, 600 miles, something in that range. So,
So we announced last year that our goal is to double the number of routes in the next 5 years, which means by 2030, so we have 25 now, like what, we're going to have 50 routes by 2030?
Yeah, we'll be over 40 is my guess, by 2030.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And of course, the route creation is not possible without the support of our generous donors, you, the riding community. And so tonight we have a special fundraiser going on. If you're not already a BDR Annual Supporter, we invite you to join the supporter program between now and the end of this broadcast. And not only are you going to be supporting the BDR in the future of route creation, you will also get some incredible perks and discounts from over 40 adventure brands that support BDR. And at the end of this broadcast, everybody who has donated from yesterday until the end of this broadcast, we're going to select 10 winners from that pool of donors, and all of them will receive a full BDR map collection. That is 25 maps with a retail value of $500, and we'll be pulling those winners live after we show the film. So we appreciate everyone's support. The community has been so gracious and so supportive over the years, but unfortunately, or fortunately, we need to keep raising the money. So thank you so much for your support. Speaking of support, we also have our industry partners, without whom the creation of this route would not be possible. And let's start with Triumph Motorcycles. They came back for the second year.
Yep.
And they provided their Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro bikes for some of our team members to ride, including you. And that was not your first time riding the bike, right?
No, it wasn't. And it's incredible. I mean, this triple 900 Rally Pro is one of the best bikes on the market right now.
Yeah, it was the featured sweepstakes bike this year last year for us. And you had a really cool quote in the film. Do you remember what you said about the bike?
Yeah, something along the lines of, the bike being a sport bike having sex with an adventure bike, and this bike being their offspring, and wanting to just go out and be wild. Yeah, it's definitely like that. It's got that sport bike feel, yet it's a super capable adventure bike.
Yeah, great. Our other sponsor was onX Off-Road, which is the preferred navigation app of the BDR. I know you and Michael use onX for planning and scouting and obviously filming.
Yeah, I use onX on my desktop computer because for route development, it's one of the tools I use regularly. And then when I'm out riding, I run my phone next to my GPS with onX on it. And you just snap it right into your quad lock, and it protects the phone, and your phone is plugged in, it stays on, and onX is great. I mean, it's so easy to see the route and navigate from.
Yeah. And you mentioned Quad Lock, which was another presenting sponsor of the route.
Yeah.
We all used their mounts on our motorcycles, and actually I'm now using it on my bicycle.
Nice.
And we loved it so much that it became the preferred mount of the BDR. So thank you to Quad Lock for supporting BDR and offering such a great product to our riders. And finally, Edelweiss Bike Travel, we have to mention them because they have been supporting BDR over many years. They are, of course, the premier motorcycle touring company in the world. So if you are planning to do an international motorcycle tour, don't look any further than an Edelweiss Bike Travel. Okay, great. So now let's put you in the hot chair. Let's talk about the Montana route, which is what we're here for.
Yeah.
Let's start by how this route came to be.
Okay, well, it started many years ago. I mean, really early in BDR's existence, we started researching this. I actually thought it would come soon after like Colorado or Arizona, maybe to be in the first 5. And here we are, 2026, and it's our 15th route. I just, better late than never, I guess, is the right phrase. But, it just didn't get momentum until more recently. We didn't have the right people in place, and the route there were a couple things that just weren't working quite right. So it wound up taking us a long time to get it done.
Yeah. So what were some of the decisions that you had to make at the beginning of the process?
One of the first ones was, where do we start this thing? We looked east of Yellowstone because it's kind of a interesting area. There's a lot of mountain ranges there. And it's also closer to where the Wyoming BDR finishes up. Mm-hmm. And I really had high hopes for that, but it wasn't fitting into the route very well. So we looked west of Yellowstone and looked at Island Park, Idaho as a place to start. And it just feeds right into the gravelly mountain range. And it just logically was the perfect place to start this thing. So once we did that, the route started to come together. And then in the north end, I was struggling a little bit with how it was going to conclude. And it was about that time, this is a few years ago, I was introduced to Russ Enos, who is the board chair for the American Motorcyclist Association. And he lives in Montana, and he knows adventure riding better than just about anybody in this state. And so I finally had that person to help me finalize this thing. And Russ had one of the best ideas. He said that, you can see it on my shirt here, that we would go west first for quite a ways before we decide to go north. And it just started to put this route into its final stages. Once I rode that, I knew we were done. And it was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, Montana, of course, is the final route in our Western BDR system. Yep. So we've finally closed that loop. So let's see. What are some of the highlights, and what do you want people to know about and to be excited about, as they plan their route?
Well, I think one of the highlights is going to be the gravelly range. So this is section 1. It's very high elevation. You're above the trees and distant views the whole time. I mean, this is a really wow. It's a big wow factor as you're starting this route. Everybody's going to be talking about that. But beyond that, there's 3 alt-harders in the southern half of the route, and they're all wonderful sections. But it's the Occidental Plateau that really stands out. This is the longest, hardest piece of this route. It throws a lot of challenges at you. It's got a lot to see, a lot of discovery points along the way, great views, and it's tough. Like I said, I mean, it's probably 7 out of 10, something like that. And so I don't want everybody to try this just because it sounds really cool. But if you're an advanced rider and you're willing to ride the harder sections of this route, people are going to be talking about Occidental Plateau. Guarantee it.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. Like the first section of the route is absolutely incredible. It's probably the most scenic, section of any BDRs. I really loved like the last 3 sections of the route. They were more mellow. They were in the forest, kind of a cool, flowy roads. Reminded me a lot of riding in the Pacific Northwest. I really enjoyed the ending of the route. I think in the film I say, this route starts with fireworks and starts with a bang and ends with fireworks. And you guys will absolutely enjoy the whole route, but there's definitely some highlights for sure.
Yeah.
What about the small towns? Let's talk about what we go through. And because one of our missions, of course, is to support the local communities along the route and all the riders that are going to be spending money on food and lodging. So give us just some towns that we go through.
Yeah, it passes through a lot of towns, small towns, historic towns. The 2 of the most historic and smaller ones that stand out are Ovando, which is more northern, and Virginia City, which is where the route that drops off the Gravelies drops into. And both of these are very amazing historic towns. And the only big town on the route is Butte, and it's equally historic. It's got a lot to offer, and it just really fit into the route just right. So I love the history, I love the scenery, and I love the small towns on this route.
Yeah, great. So for people who are planning on riding the route, we're pretty sure you know what to do, but in case you don't, because we get a lot of phone calls from people who not sure where to start their BDR adventure, go to RideBDR.com/MTBDR, which is the route page for Montana route. You can look at the FAQ. You can read information about each section of the route. We have a really cool interactive map with different layers. You can see fire activity, snow levels, weather conditions. We have obviously a printed map, and don't forget to get your decal that you will put on after you finish the route. And then we also have a dedicated group, a Facebook group page for all of our routes. So we're managing 25 Facebook group pages, but that join the Facebook group page because it's a great opportunity to read ride reports, see photos, check out the latest conditions. There were even some rescues on the, from the Facebook group pages. And then you can also find some riding buddies to go and do the BDR.
And people can also give back. So after you do the ride, go back to that Facebook page and share your experiences. If you discover something that maybe we don't have in the tracks, let us know. Let the community know.
Yeah, because our routes are living, breathing entities, right? Like it's not we create the route and then it's done. We take feedback from riders. You and Michael, our routes manager, you review all those suggestions, and sometimes we do improve the routes and change them.
Yeah, our routes are changing all the time. Sometimes it's because we have to, because there's a closure or something like that comes up. There's been some land ownership issues. But oftentimes it's just because we want to make the route better and or diversify it a little bit. So people have, we work with locals from the beginning of this process, and it just keeps going. If they have suggestions, we're always listening.
Yeah, great. One more thing I want to mention, if you are coming from afar and you would rather just fly and ride the Montana route, there's a number of rental and touring companies that are either running tours, fully supported tours on the Montana BDR, including Colorado Motorcycle Adventures, or there's a number of companies that are now offering rentals to ride the Montana. So you can fly and ride, rent the bike, ride the BDR, and fly back home. So they really make it easy for you to complete a BDR without a lot of planning. And those resources are available on our website under Rider Resources tab.
Great.
Okay, great. So before we get into the film, I do want to talk about the next generation of BDR riders.
Okay.
Because on this film, we had the two sons of the two co-founders. We had your son, Kyle, and then Paul Gillian's son, Daniel, who joined us. And they're very young, and that was their first BDR. So let's talk about, first of all, how was it riding with your son? And secondly, why is it important for us to harness the new generation of BDR riders?
Yeah, well, I have to say that was a highlight for me. Getting to ride a full BDR with my son was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And I think he really enjoyed it. I watched him experience this route through his eyes, which I know I look at it differently. I see it gradually and change, evolve, and he's just, boom, comes in, fresh eyes, not just fresh to a BDR, but fresh to BDR riding. And so I think we both noticed that the kids on this route, and these are 20-somethings, that they brought a lot of energy to the expedition. I think it made it a lot more fun for everybody on the trip. And yeah, so I think it's important. I mean, this is the future of our sport. The next gen is what's going to keep this thing going. And I hope this film inspires some of them. I hope some of them are going to watch it tonight, and we'll watch it on YouTube going forward. I watched Kyle's friends when we did the premiere in Seattle. They just couldn't believe it. So hopefully even that night we picked up some new riders. But, one thing I like about this film is that Kyle is riding his own bike, right? He bought this bike with his hard-earned cash. It's a used KLR 650. And it just goes to show you that you don't have to spend a ton of money to get into this. We've always said you can ride a BDR with any type or size of bike, right? It doesn't have to be a 1200cc larger machine. So the smaller bikes, the thumpers, they're affordable, they're easy to work on, and for younger people that are getting into this, that's a great way to do it. And then camping is another way to keep the cost down. And honestly, that's more fun. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I agree. So Kyle also works in the BDR office with us.
He does.
We wanted to have him be a part of this broadcast. He took a PTO. He's in New York somewhere. But we do want to share a quick video that Kyle recorded about the supporter program. and he'll show you what kind of cool perks you're going to get if you join the annual BDR Supporter Program. So let's take a look, and then we'll come back.
What's up, BDR riders? Kyle Stevens here from BDR World Headquarters in Seattle, Washington. We are officially launching the 2026 BDR Supporter Program. For those of you that don't know, the Supporter Program is one of the leading ways that you can help support BDR's nonprofit mission and score some incredible discounts and gifts from more than 40 of our industry partners. If you want BDR to continue creating routes and riding opportunities, then join at one of the 3 supporter levels: bronze, silver, or gold, which I have here in front of me and I'm about to unbox. First up, we have the new annual BDR supporter shirt. This year we have a design that displays that you're a BDR supporter, and I'm actually wearing it right now. It's pretty sweet. It's a heavyweight long sleeve shirt with this cool new design on the back that represents that you support our mission. Next up, we have a Trail Tech Adventure Stand, which is a very valuable item and can be used to fix a flat tire if you don't have a center stand. It's very useful. We had a team member use it multiple times on the Montana BDRs. Then we have a BDR Flask, which has been asked for a long time, and we have finally delivered. You can put anything from whiskey to maple syrup in this thing, and it's gonna make your time around the fire a lot more fun. Also, we have a BDR tote bag here, which makes us an official nonprofit. It can be used in a pannier or for any shopping needs. Here we have a personal favorite, a microfiber towel. It's a lightweight, packable. It has a little breathable case for you, and if you are jumping in the lakes on your BDR routes, you're gonna want this to stay dry. We've got a leather embossed BDR luggage tag. We have a BDR chocolate, dark chocolate, of course. A staple for our supporters, our Mocha Mint chapstick. Cruise Tools Fix-It Kit, never know when you need some zip ties. And of course, we have the new Montana BDR route map. I had the chance to ride this route myself, and I think that everyone is gonna enjoy this first section with the gravelly range especially. We also have some various decals, including the BDR sticker sheet with the new BDRX stickers included. We have an educational decal, your supporter level decals to show off that you're a gold supporter, our new Montana BDR decal, and of course a little BDR shield. And last but not least, BDR exclusive discounts to dozens of adventure motorcycle brands, including Quadlock, TourTech, Moscow Moto, and many more. At the end of the day, BDR is a community effort with the goal to double the amount of routes in the next 5 years, and we cannot do it without your support. 80% of BDR's nonprofit funding comes from individual donors just like you. So click the link below and become an official BDR supporter today.
Hey, welcome back again to the Montana BDR broadcast. We hope you enjoyed this little video that Kyle and Derek put together, and I hope it inspired you to join the annual supporter program if you haven't done so already. Control room tells me we are getting a lot of signups, but we do need to mention that the special is only for the bronze, silver, and gold supporters. So for those 2 levels, it comes with a lot of perks for each level, and out of the donor pool for those 3 levels, we will be selecting 10 winners at the end of the broadcast. All right, so we'll be rolling the film in a few seconds here. Okay. Just as a reminder, if you have any questions while you're watching the film, make sure to put them in the chat. We'll answer those after we come back after the film. And then we also have a special surprise for you guys tonight. Bryce, you want to tell them what it is?
The Adirondacks? Yeah,
yes.
We're announcing, sorry guys, we're announcing the Adirondacks tonight. Well, it's been announced, but we're releasing the teaser video finally.
Yeah, so we'll show you the trailer. The official release of the trailer is slated for next week. But because you're all here and you tuned in, you will be able to see the Adirondacks trailer at the end of the broadcast. So stay tuned for that. Yep. And I think control room, we're ready to roll. Okay, let's watch the film. See you after the film.
At Backcountry Discovery Routes, we're known for the epic off-highway routes we create for adventure motorcycling across the U.S. We've been delivering adventures of a lifetime since 2010. But as a nonprofit, our mission is far more than just drawing lines on a map. BDR is dedicated to inspiring exploration beyond the pavement and advocates to maintain access outreach to communicate the importance of rider safety and showing respect for the communities and the public lands our routes travel through. And through it all, a beautiful thing happens. Thousands of riders each year deliver critical tourism dollars to the small businesses and rural towns along our routes, strengthening the very places that make these adventures possible. Be a part of this journey with us. The future depends on you. Help fuel our mission. Donate today at RideBDR.com.
The Montana Backcountry Discovery Route is a 900-mile route divided into 8 sections, completing the final link in the western BDR system. Starting in Island Park, Idaho, the route crosses Red Rock Pass into Montana, traveling through wildlife refuges and sandy valley roads before climbing into the gravelly range above 9,000 feet and descending into the historic town of Virginia City. From there, it follows farm and ranch roads through river valleys with optional harder sections climbing into the East Pioneer and Highland Mountains before continuing on to Butte. The route becomes more remote, ascending to high plateaus and forested ridges. An optional advanced section passes historic mining sites and scenic viewpoints before dropping into Lincoln. Riders cross mountain passes, lakes, and small towns, with an optional side trip to the Mount Morrell lookout before reaching Seeley Lake. The route then enters the Mission Mountains, travels through the Flathead Reservation, and climbs into the 9-Mile Valley before descending to St. Regis. The final sections wind through forest roads and alpine passes to the Cabinet Mountains, ending near Eureka and a remote point along the U.S.-Canada border. The MTBDR is best ridden between July and September, depending on snow levels and seasonal closures.
The completion of the Montana BDR is a significant milestone for the BDR organization. We are celebrating our 15-year anniversary, and we're finally filling in the last piece of the Western BDRs.
That missing puzzle piece, it's been something gnawing at us for a long time, and not just us, but a lot of people. I honestly say that this is probably one of the most sought after routes we've ever had.
Montana's wild, man. It is huge, big sky country. There's grizzly bears, there's cougars out here. I mean, it's really true wildlands. So I'm excited to finally have a route here.
So my role in this is, I guess, a dual role, because I'm here as co-architect of the route. I've been a lifelong Montanan and ridden in Montana literally my entire life. And I'm also the board chairman of the American Motorcyclist Association. I'm really surprised pleasantly with what we came up with, that it's really all rideable on a bigger bike. I think riders will have just an outstanding ride start to finish.
Coming in with a clean slate, just very excited to be here and be a part of this, and hopefully seeing some bears maybe, or some cool wildlife, hopefully at a distance. I'm good. I'm ready to go.
This will be my first BDR, which I'm super excited about. Anything where I can get out and spend multiple days on the road is one of my favorite things to do, and when there's dirt involved, it's just a huge bonus.
Getting the quad lock all set up on the bike, gotta have it right there.
On this expedition, we had Jeff Stanton, who is known as the Duke of Daytona. He's a 6-time AMA champion.
I got an adventure business in northern Michigan, Jeff Stanton Adventures, and Triumph supplies me with all my bikes, and they invited me to come enjoy some great riding in Montana.
I got involved with BDR because of my love of motorcycles, and certainly getting out to remote places.
My name's Kyle Stevens, and I'm the projects coordinator at BDR. My dad helped found this organization, and I'm so lucky to be able to do the Montana as my first BDR.
Have you done motorcycle camping before?
I have not. so this is gonna be my first time.
I'm most excited about just getting to ride for 7 days straight. A lot of hours on the bike that I normally wouldn't get, and spending time with my dad that I should do more of.
The BDR has really changed my relationship with the backcountry and understanding our nation's public lands and what's out there. I've been looking forward to the Montana BDR kind of since we started the BDR.
So this is my second expedition with the BDR. The scenery is amazing. You've got big rivers, you've got big mountains, and you've got a big sky.
Welcome to the Montana BDR. We'll be going to Virginia City, Montana, but we're going to go over a huge mountain range to get there. We started researching Montana years ago. It gave us a lot of time to work on this and make sure that we got this route right. This route starts with a bang. This is a fabulous day.
We get up to about 9,500 feet today, which I believe is the highest point on this whole route. So right out the gate, we're going to get a little bit of sand and go up in the mountains, and I just can't wait to see it.
Leaving Island Park, Idaho, and heading into Montana. We're about 4 miles into the trip and the dirt roads have started. There we go, Red Rock Pass, Idaho and Montana.
Got some wildlife on the road, so we're slowing down.
Okay, now we're in the deep sand part of the route.
It's not dangerous. You just kind of work your way through it. We'll see. It's long. That's the one challenge of it.
Yeah, it's very fine sand.
This is July, and last year when scouting, it was quite a bit deeper in September.
Well, what'd you do there?
Got a little deep, dropped the KLR, but the sand made for a soft landing.
Speed's your friend. You want that front tire up on plane. Stand on the pegs, get your weight slightly back, keep your elbows bent, and be light on the bars.
If you're worried about sand, I wouldn't be. I think that's a great place if you're dipping your toes for the first time, as long as you come early in the season, because those roads are pretty well graded. So don't freak out when you hear the word sand, and just know you've got some beautiful roads just after it that'll reward you for all your hard work. Some cow action going on, and if you guys are being safe, responsible BDR riders, you know, yield to animals.
That was a gorgeous section right through there. Nice 2-track, some little mud holes to pop in and out of, a lot of cattle. We saw a few antelope. It doesn't get any better.
This section was awesome. It's a 2-track with some grass in the middle and ruts and rocks.
We are at 9,300 feet. We're on the road over the gravelly range, headed to the north. This is just an amazing piece of road you can see for miles. Montana BDR, this is the best of the best.
The gravelies are just breathtaking. You know, wide open, sort of wider roads. So it wasn't challenging riding, but beautiful.
That stretch right there was fabulous. Nice and hard packed, no dust, and we're slowly descending down, working our way down.
It is one of the best high alpine, windy roads I can remember on any BDR. We've got this beautiful mountain in the background. There's still snowfields up here. Feels like Sound of Music kind of landscapes.
Man, it is so rare to be able to ride this much in the high alpine, but just unbelievable views, man. It's incredible.
So the first day of the ride, you're going to be above 8,000 feet, which is above tree line for over 30 miles. It's mind-blowing how much scenery you'll see in the first day. You're going to want to stop and take lots of photos.
what could be more fun than riding a full BDR, riding a full BDR with your kid? I'm so excited that Kyle is going with me. We've never done this before.
I feel like I need to understand motorcycling to understand my father. So it's like cool to see him in his element, and he's just so happy when he's out here and doing this stuff.
But how special that the two of us get to do this full BDR together. It's more special than I can even describe here.
A lot of people that go on one BDR, man, they are hooked for life.
Like, I already see what it's all about, and it's just awesome to finally get out and experience one myself.
It was so refreshing and nice to have a couple of young guys on this trip. You know, my son Daniel, Bryce's son Kyle. It was totally a dream come true to have Daniel on this trip, to get to follow him around on adventure bikes for a week, and to have him be a part of one of these film expeditions.
Thanks for coming with me. It's been fun so far, and I think it's going to continue to be a lot of fun.
You know, I was thinking back to when I left the house for that first Oregon BDR, and you were 6 or 7 years old. I remember you saying goodbye to me in the driveway.
That's the oldest BDR memory, even though I have no recollection of that, but I just remember the picture. Now we're starting the descent, getting glimpses of this valley we're coming into. That's the Gallatin Range I'm looking at there, off in the distance. Quite beautiful.
For such a short day, the amount of stuff you get to ride here is insane. So all things considered, still in good spirits.
Oh man, this is cool with the grass in the middle. We're only 3 miles from Virginia City and this amazing road.
So far it's been pretty smooth, but it's starting to get rocky. So I'm gonna have to see if this is gonna be one for everyone to ride or only for more experienced riders. I'm letting Paul go in front so I can follow his line, and if I crash, it'll be his fault.
Let's go ahead and fix the situation. If you just go like this with your bars a few times, that wheel will work down into the hole there. There you go. Nice teamwork. There you go.
We definitely think it'll be an alt harder. I'm glad I did it because I think I'm a good judge of what an intermediate rider can do on a fully loaded bike. If you want a little bit of challenge and you have some good team members with you, it's definitely doable and it's super, super fun.
It's pretty spicy. Just let the tractor do its work, climb up that hill.
Yeah, this is a BDR style road here. I like this. What a strong finish into Virginia City. This was like a little ghost town looking thing, or old mining town or something.
Rolling in, looking for the general store.
Best day of motorcycling of my life so far.
I was really impressed with the quality of the services and the people and their willingness to share history, and the stops on the route. They're really cool because you can wander around and learn about how things were in Montana literally 150 years ago when the state was young and things were wild.
It's the oldest continually operated store in Montana.
This is
1885.
Wow.
Yep.
God. It's the second bear we've seen today. Yeah. Made in Montana.
Root bear.
Root bear.
The hunt for bears continues.
Watch your steer, watch your steer, watch your steer. That section that we just did right there, all the alfalfa fields, all the cattle, it kind of hits home for me. Being an 8th generation farmer, I really like that part as well. That's just America.
we're getting to see these places through the eyes of the people that live here. We're lucky enough to have 2 riders on this route that are local to the area, and even in the mornings we're just going through this farmland and stuff. It's just an amazing way to see this place.
My name's Matt Kerschel. I got invited through Russ Enos to kind of help scout out the Montana BDR. I'm the Butte local. I've got some experience in doing some riding around here, so I was asked to help do some trails south of Butte and north of Butte. To do this in your backyard and to be able to see what we get to see here, I think the Montana BDR is going to be a really good draw.
We did some beautiful farm country. Now you know what? We're heading for the mountains. $1.2 million of charcoal to burn down 40,000 pounds of iron ore. So these are just the kilns that they threw firewood in just to produce charcoal.
It's so cool, you just pop up and there's these beehives in the middle of the forest.
Pretty wild to see just in the middle of nowhere.
The KLR is absolutely eating right now. Oh yeah, there he goes.
Oh, here we go. A little mud splash. Woo!
We're not blowing this corner and falling into the void, because we got 5 more days of this. We gotta keep it on 2 wheels. Got some whoops for you to hit on the KLR. It's beautiful, huh? Yeah, it's a cool track.
That was super awesome. We went up on top of the mountain where there's just a big open prairie. I'd love to live out here in the mountains for 6 months to see what it was really like.
This route is all about diversity when it comes to views, at least on the first day, but on day 2, the terrain has been insane. There's elevation, and then you have this wide open area where you're just flying through. I mean, this is all within, I don't know, 15 miles or so, and you're getting to hit every kind of dirt and every kind of terrain.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. It's my kind of trail where you're getting slapped in the shoulders with the brush and looking out for the big sticks.
Oh man, we just came through a really cool section. It was tight trees, kind of a Jeep trail, just as twisty as you can imagine for an adventure bike. Definitely got a little arm pump in there towards the end.
Okay, and now we're into dirt, out harder section on day 2. Pretty fun 2-track here, quite rocky.
I'd say, of course, my favorite section is the hardest stuff that we could do. Yeah, that's just fun with all the little rock faces and the uphill stuff too. Yeah, all of it.
We got a nice little loose, steep climb coming up. Oh, look at this view. Big reveal coming out of the woods into the meadow.
First time going through a water crossing.
We just crossed Moose Creek and we're doing the next bit of this alt harder section. It's a paint shaker. Oh man, how cool is this? Big bike enduro course, man. There's these Widowmaker logs you can barely see. Hit those at the wrong angle, man. Your front tire is gonna take you for a ride. Stutter bumps. Yeah.
So we just came through Moose Creek alt harder section, and it was a beautiful canyon with some rocks and a little bit of ruts. It was really nice.
I would say it's an intermediate ride, and if you're feeling up for it, definitely do it. It's one of the most fun riding so far that we had on this route.
Okay, we're on the outskirts of Butte.
So you are at the base of the Big M, which is this mountain right here, but the gate's closed. Get a really good view of Butte. That's what we consider the East Ridge up there that the Lady of the Rockies is on. This is home for me.
You know, Butte's one of those towns back in the turn of the century, 120 years ago. Mining history and the whole history of the Butte area is really interesting.
Nothing good happens after 5 p.m., so just cruise it in.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're just dialing it back a little bit to make sure we don't get ourselves in trouble.
My friend Harley Harrison, he said, I hid you something up in the mountains at this location. He sent me coordinates, and we've got a couple of cigars, looks like fine cigars, and some whiskey. Harley, thank you so much, man.
Okay, this is us rolling into the campsite, end of day 2.
Not too bad. Beautiful view all around. We got a creek running through the back right here.
There's nothing better than riding a motorcycle all day with a good group of guys and pulling into a camp like this, setting up camp, hanging around, BSing for a while, getting back to nature. It just really doesn't get any better than that.
A lot of beautiful stuff. Everyone's so fun to ride with and a lot of learning. Been another great day.
A lot of differences in the flora and fauna. We saw some elk.
We live in the United States, we know it's here, but until you actually get out and ride in it and see what one ridge leads to another ridge, it's unbelievable.
You know, getting into the end of that day, sleeping in a hammock that night, it was perfect.
As long as nothing eats us or anything, I'll be pretty happy.
And the coolest thing is we got this new Nemo tent from Moto Camp Nerd, BDR sponsor, and I've never set it up. So Paul graciously has offered to help me figure it out.
I'm actually an Eagle Scout and I've spent over 300 nights camping. That, however, has not prepared me for this tent that I bought 3 years ago that I set up once 3 years ago, and now I can't remember how it goes together.
Good riding, good roads, good filming, little river crossing, and now we get a nice little camp out at the end of the day.
He eats constantly.
Oh yeah, I'm hungry. I've been eating all day though, snacking every stop.
That's why he's so fit though, you know.
Little burger action. I found some guac and some salsa, some corn tortillas. Enjoy.
Oh, thank you, sir.
They call me Chef Jeff at home.
This rye whiskey is as smooth as they get.
Hammock sleep, real nice. Ready for day 3 of motorcycling.
Not embarrassed or ashamed to say I've never camped off a bike. Got a good tent and a good air mattress. It was a piece of cake. I slept like a baby all night. I feel excellent. What a beautiful night's sleep. Can't get better than nature. You're ready for a big day today.
Just left White Horse Campground a little bit ago, and we're running the frontage road here along freeway.
There's a sign up ahead warning us that we're in grizzly bear country.
Just started the route where we came across our first gate.
If the gate's closed, close it when you go through. If the gate's open, leave it open. Leave it as you found it.
Some big ruts on the hard alternate route and pretty loose corners.
I just had a tip over there in the corner. I think my bike landed on a big rock and bent the rear brake, which I didn't notice until I was pulling up to our group, and I reached for my rear brake and it wasn't there, so I plowed into poor Dan Rain's bike. His helmet, unfortunately, ended up being crashed by the crash bars. In the meantime, my rear brake got bent, but we were able to bend it back.
We're doing a cool little lookout here on the first alt harder section for today. I can't wait to be rewarded with the view at the top.
This is fun stuff. Again, this is alt harder, but it's just kind of right in that just above average technical difficulty.
The Occidental Plateau, alt harder, it was just really cool. Like some of those sections were pretty difficult and fun, and it was just long. We were out there for a couple hours.
The ride up to Occidental Plateau was loose rocks, but pretty just consistent uphill, not bad at all.
Nice meandery double track through the valleys. Lots of loose rocks.
Really pay attention, pick good lines, and avoid pinch flats by watching your speed. This is what it looks like from my helmet.
The terrain is one thing, but the views is what amazes me. We're up here on this plateau and just see for miles and miles and miles. You can see from the view behind me, it's just endless.
This was a great find when we were out scouting. We knew it was a keeper, but because it was difficult, it became an all-harder. I consider this one of the highlights of the whole Montana BDR. And we're gonna descend down into Rimini, off to Elliston, and we got a whole bunch more riding after that to get to Lincoln. So we gotta stay on track here.
Pretty steep hill going down here.
I was in first gear going slow, got a little slip, and the bike slipped out and I went over the handlebars a little bit. And then Kiri tried to stop on the hill and it was real steep and ended up tipping over. So we had 2 bikes down, had to get those up. A little rattled, but all good, and we'll get back on it.
I gotta tell you how exciting it is for me to have the BDR finally coming through my home state of Montana. It's something I've wished for, hoped for, wanted to be part of for, 10 years. And to have it finally come to fruition and be a real deal, very, very exciting.
Ooh, that smells good. Woo-hoo! This is the new Touratech Rally slow race with the cows. Oh boy. You're getting a little front happy there. Oh! I just smoked my skid plate so hard and stalled it, but I didn't drop the bike yet.
Little rock steps and line choices and lots of fun things you can do in there.
Oh! To the face! Oh, in my mouth! It's so stinky. It's not good. See all this all over me? Can smell it.
Oh, that is cow shit.
Oh God, that smells like cow shit.
Cow shit. Cow shit facial.
That's what we call the BDR initiation.
This is the uphill section of the Alt Harder on day 3.
That section's tough. You got to have some skills. I mean, I wouldn't send a beginner through there by any means. A challenge is good in your life. Whether you're like me, 56 or 36, a challenge is good. Keep your momentum up, rail the top of the berm, miss all the rocks.
As long as you commit and have some speed, you're gonna be totally fine. But yeah, I can't imagine doing some of that uphill stuff in the rain.
First time I did it, threw the bike up on the side, went around, got some redemption on it.
That was an incredible alt harder section.
Some of the funnest stuff we've ridden so far in the last 3 days, so I loved that section.
It was a lot of fun, but I'm tired.
And to add insult to injury, we got a front flat. And yeah, I must have caught a tire on the edge of a rock or something because we don't see any obvious punctures. Looks like we have one tire, one side debeaded. But yeah, so we're gonna try and get this fixed on the trail and hopefully the day gets better.
I feel so good to be on my motorcycle. Nice downhill, steep, nice uphill, steep. It just don't get any better than this. Chessman Reservoir, what a beautiful place. You have to take the alt difficult route to see it, but it's worth it.
Thanks for coming along.
Absolutely, good job.
Jeff Stanton has left us. He was a great addition to the squad.
We're riding the section after the Elliston stop. We're in a pretty flowy 2-track here. This is a fun track. Goes in and out of being smooth and flowy to rocky and slightly technical.
It was super fun, 2-track, fast, flowy, perfect, having a blast. The downside to having so much fun is that you blow corners. On this section, definitely pay close attention to your GPS at all the turns and keep a lookout.
Phenomenal terrain. The tracks are so fun today. They're on the challenging end of the spectrum, but fun in a challenging way.
We are pulling up to the Empire Mine. What a cool site. And they have a sign that describes the history here. Great spot. The only thing I'd say is stay on the road because there are nails everywhere, people.
Back in the day, this was a gold mine. They found silver, copper, lead, and zinc as well. And it was highly productive. There was a whole town up here. People lived. There was a general store and a post office, and there's not much left of it now. It all burned down in the early 1930s.
This is Kyle before the alt-harder section. This is Kyle after the alt-harder section. Having a ball riding with you, that was super fun.
Me too. Getting tired.
Yeah.
But then I start riding again, then it's so fun, and then I wake up.
Yeah.
This is it. We're going up Granite Mountain Lookout towards the end of the day, and I know that people are tired and grumpy and thirsty and hot, dehydrated and all this stuff, so I hope everybody takes it easy going up here. See the lookout now.
Throwing some baseballs at me now, son.
We've had a discussion here, so I don't think this is going to be all harder. I think we'll just do it as an extension. But this just goes to show you that even as we're filming this, the architects are trying to get some beta and more opinions on what should be included in the route and how to characterize it. In this case, you guys help me make the decision.
Another stretch of beautiful road, a little bit rockier this time, traversing the shoulder of this mountain.
So we are all rolling into Lincoln right now.
Unfortunately, Lincoln has a national reputation of being a town where the Unabomber lived, which he did. It's too bad that that's all it's known for nationally, because it's a great little town.
Pretty tired, ready for some rest, but another big day. It was amazing.
We made it. End of day 3. Pretty well whooped today. It was warm, so ready for a shower and a cold beverage.
Day 4, we're leaving here in Lincoln. We're going to Seeley Lake today. It's only 73 miles.
And we decided we'd stop and do a hike in the Sculptures in the Wild Park.
This sculpture park is somewhere I bring lots of people, and I'm not always sure how they'll react, but everybody seems to love it. It's a great place to spend a little bit of time off the bike and take in the amazing sculptures.
You can see all sorts of interesting and beautiful structures that people have put together. Here's the Ponderosa Whirlpool, a willow structure, very magical. Incredible structure, burnt wood, absolutely beautiful.
The sculpture park in Lincoln was incredible. Kind of the last place that you expect to see these enormous sculptures made by world-renowned artists.
It's worth the visit. I always am concerned that when people come here that they're going to be underwhelmed, and I've yet to have that happen.
All right, everybody, make sure your cardos are on. The cardos are good for a very full day of adventure riding.
I have this like mantra in life where like if there's water, you should go in it. On a hot summer day, sometimes we need to just get real soaked.
At least we knocked the dust off.
I'm kind of excited for the wet underwear under the riding jacket.
Oh, that's like BDR air conditioning.
This is the place. This is beautiful downtown Ovando. The routes through the small towns are going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal to keep them in business.
Little spot to get some ice cream. I'm gonna get stuck in a rut.
I've been here for 9 years, almost 9 years.
And how long has the store been here?
Since the late 1800s.
When you stop in these towns and you meet the locals here, I think you'll realize they're incredibly welcoming.
This bear on the wall was killed by my uncle, and that's him in the photo with the bear. The guy running the store knows my good friends and all my relatives, so we had a nice conversation, and I'm going to walk across and talk to one of my good friends that's in the museum running it today.
And I've been in Ovando and in and out of here since 1957. This was the brand bar. Where the Blackfoot Angler is now was J.D. Fisher's Saloon. And the economy then was logging and distribution of dry goods and stuff, because all of the homesteaders and everything.
If a motorcyclist is traveling through here, what can they find here in Ovando?
Got something to eat and some gas.
Some gas and some food? What do you got to do to stay in the night in jail here?
Nothing. Spend the night in there.
Yeah, that's what I heard. You can stay overnight in the jail free.
Yeah. Or the teepee, or the sheep camp, or you can stay in the basement of the church.
Some of us are getting really warm, so I brought this little dry bag, and I'm gonna scoop up some water and then dump it on my friend. Get a little bit of evaporative cooling happening.
Oh, that's amazing.
Keep going. Okay, ready? Here we go. Woo! 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 Yeah!
We don't know what this road has in store for us, if it's easy or hard. Sometimes these lookout roads can get pretty challenging, but we'll find out.
This road is about 9 miles long. It takes a while, but I would highly recommend that if people have the time.
Coming through burnt forest, gaining elevation, you get a beautiful view, or looking over Sealy Lake. It's awesome.
Lookout tower is just up above us, and we're going to decide who's going to hike up there and who's going to stay down here at the parking area. Maybe a quarter-mile hike up here. I'd highly recommend it. It wasn't terrible. The lookout is right here behind us, and this summer it's actually staffed by a nice woman who's watching for fires. We just had a long conversation with her, and she told us she's already called in 3 fires this summer.
Beautiful up here, definitely worth the hike, would recommend. And the ride up on the moto is very fun as well.
Now, coming down, we get to see a whole different perspective.
Incredible views off in the distance. We can see snow-capped mountain ranges. We got plenty of riding in the last few days, so I think everybody's getting a little tired and ready to put their feet up, hang out a little bit.
It's pretty rare that we get a beach day on the BDR.
So it's a nice reprieve from the hot day, cool lake, and ready for dinner. Usually it's Inna who's cooking and cleaning, and now we have the next gen. I passed it over to them, and the boys are cooking yummy tacos for tonight.
Cleaning the grill with an onion slice. The acidity helps break up kind of the old built-up burger residue from the other night.
Camping on the BDRs is just a necessary part of the experience to really feel the full depth of what the BDRs can offer.
Learned from Triumph that they were sending one of their ambassadors, a guy named John. He shows up and he ends up being like one of the most fascinating people we've ever talked to. Former Special Forces guy. He has a really enormous bison operation. Stoked to have a BDR in the state where his ranch is.
People who end in Montana should all ride motorcycles because you have to be very self-sufficient. You have to spread your eggs out, do a lot of things to survive. There's not a lot of strong industry, so you have to be a diverse person to be able to make it. That self-sufficiency, really goes hand in hand with riding motorcycles. Things are always going wrong and you got to fix it, and it's an adventure.
I go crazy when I hear a cymbal and a hi-hat with a souped up tempo. I'm on a roll, it's time to go solo, rolling in my 5.0 with my rag top down so my beard can blow.
Ever heard that rendition?
Never, dude.
We're leaving Sealy Lake today, and then we're going to go through a small town called Arlee. Then we will end at St. Regis. It's 135 miles. There is some pavement, and there are fast roads. I don't think it's going to be hard.
We are just leaving Sealy Lake, and we are headed towards St. Regis.
We just merged onto Jocko Canyon Road.
We are running on some pretty fast fire roads. As you can see, they're pretty dusty. We're doing our best to kind of keep spaced out so we don't just choke each other out on our dust.
This is the sign that you can see behind me that denotes the Jocko Primitive area. On this road here, you just don't want to divert and get off the road at all.
You're technically on reservation land, and we've been lucky enough to be allowed a road that cuts through it. So just stay on the road.
We just got to the town of Arlee, where those with smaller tanks are gonna fill up with gas, and we're gonna grab some snacks to get us through for the rest of the day. We got 100 miles left, ready to get up into the next sections and get up into the mountains. Coconut water a day keeps the doctor away.
Stop in Arlee and load up for the next couple of days.
200 milligrams of caffeine to get me through the rest of the day.
Yeah, that section was super dusty.
I think I'm gonna need to brush my teeth again.
Yeah.
Making our way towards the mountain, and there is this big silt bed just right around the corner. It looked like it was just gonna be sand, no big deal, but right in the middle of it, just a sharp bang, there's a big hole in it. I made it through just fine and shouted out everyone else, but a couple people got caught up in it, and yeah, so beware.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow, that was surprising. Something to bear in mind, these country roads are actively used by logging trucks. Boy, they sure kick up a lot of dust.
This guy in front of me has got a logging truck with a logging trailer up on top.
Coming in hot with how dusty this is, it feels like Mad Max out here.
Yeah, I would say this is an active logging area. And this road is so dusty because of these logging trucks. They just really pulverize the rock and the gravel, turn it into this moon dust. But that's a lot of weight. It ain't gonna stop on a dime.
Picked up a nice nail, so good thing we got our handy dandy toolkits here. The nice thing is we just so happen to have an old truck tire that somebody destroyed up here on the same road, so we got a nice little working surface, keeping it out of this super light dirt. Take a look at this handy duct tape job that Bryce has on his spare tube.
Right. Just a cheap plastic bag and, you know, a little bit of duct tape, and then this thing should be in good shape.
When you get a big puncture like that and your tire just goes completely flat super quick, usually the tire spins on the wheel and it just strips out your whole valve stem.
Holy crap.
So that tube can't be patched. It's garbage now.
If you don't have a center stand, you need to have something like this in your tire kit. Otherwise, you're searching for a log or a rock or something that may not be readily available.
Okay.
Up. Okay, you're good. You're good. There you go. Keep going. Right there, right. Beautiful. That's what you want to see. If it doesn't spin like that, then it's possible that you didn't get the brake caliper aligned on the swing arm.
Yep.
And that you'll have some binding on here, which will get really hot, and you'll have all sorts of problems.
Yeah, this was a quick tire change.
This is pretty good.
This is where they keep all their mules for currently, you know, firefighting, packing gear in, maintaining trails, and they have a bunch of fields out here for training smoke jumpers. So I used to be a test parachutist, so I'd test a lot of their gear. It's just a really cool historic spot to stop and see.
Bring in like Forest Service horses and mules. Last year we had 240 that come here for the winter.
Okay.
And, you know, we put up hay, feed them.
The day started a little bit slow on wide, dusty roads, but now we're finally into proper forest riding. I love riding with Kiri, amazing, incredible rider. She has been helping scout this route, and it's been nice to get her opinion of how hard the roads are. It's great to see more women riding. I think for new women who are maybe getting off the back of their partner's bike and looking for role models to join the sport, I think it's great to see women riding in BDR movies and going through some difficulties and sometimes dropping the bike, but keep on going.
Yeah, the cool thing about riding a BDR is you just get really comfortable because you're riding the same bike day after day after day, and your skills kind of build, your confidence elevates, you get used to the bike, you know what it can do, you know what it can't do. And it kind of just gets more and more fun as the week goes on.
Coming into this, I was a little bit timid and like almost like nervous to get on the bike, but by like day 4 or 5, I was like every morning woke up just absolutely stoked to get on the bike and ride all day.
And especially for new riders, like we've got Kyle with us, he's a new rider. I've seen his skills just build every day. He's a little stronger, a little more confident, and is able to tackle difficult terrain. It's a great way to become a better motorcyclist, is to ride a BDR and spend 6 or 7 days just riding a motorcycle every day.
We're in the 9 mile, and this is a really fun, fast, twisty, just a great section for a rider, man. It is as good as it gets.
A little high on adrenaline right now. This 900 triple is insanity. It's like a sport bike had sex with an adventure bike, and this was their baby. It's all grown up and ready to go out and go crazy.
This road was very fun. A lot of twisty turns, and I'm just getting some good experience braking on the corners and accelerating out of them. Really fun.
Perfect twisties, a little rocky to keep it interesting. Awesome pops of views.
Flowing in and out, and you're coming into the corners on the brakes, you're pushed back, and then you're transitioning, and then you get to exit and like get over the front tire and just slide the rear at a safe and responsible speed, of course.
This is my favorite part. Really awesome. It's twisty, it's fun, it's skinny, a little bit loose here and there. It's just a blast.
I like how we started off like this big long climb, got up to the top, then we came down, hit another valley again, and climbed up over another mountain range, and then dropped back down to here. We're still kind of up there a ways, and I think we got a whole nother pass to go over, so.
So Bryce is testing John's bike, the 450 Triumph E. He looks like he's riding a kid's bike.
If you want to be comfortable and go a long way, you know, for this route, 130 miles plus a day, I would get one of these.
We're on the Keystone Ridge Road, and it is so fun. Beautiful mountains and just layers of mountains in the background.
That last little section was awesome. There was nice little green, beautiful terrain for sure. Just smooth, flowing, thin roads.
Going for the huckleberry milkshake. Probably a day's worth of sugar right in here. This is a good stop to provision for tomorrow, because I doubt that we'll have any time to eat lunch.
The lodgings we stayed in were quite arranged, but they were fine. You know, you come in after riding all day, all you need is just a bed and a place to let your gear dry out.
Level of services can vary greatly from, you know, really incredible places to stay to perfectly adequate.
Day 6, this is our longest day, 185 miles. The forecast, 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts in the mountains. I mean, we could see trees down.
If you look up in the mountains, it's pretty darn cloudy, so we could get some moisture.
We're popping wheelies, drifting through corners, hitting the dance today. Just wait till you see me today. I'm gonna be on fire.
My bike won't start, so I'm glad we have a backup bike.
She's going to have a real pleasant surprise, because that's just a great motorcycle.
So Bryce, what do we have coming up today?
I was just showing the team this on our Onyx app. That is going to be so much fun. That's what we have to look forward to this morning.
The last 3 days have been just spectacular, riding in the forest, like just flowy roads, a lot of grip, fragrant pine smells, and it was just such a pleasure.
Today is a cloudy day. It rained last night, so it feels like we're in the Pacific Northwest. We're getting into almost a little bit of mud at times. Totally different vibe than we've had the last 5 days.
This side of the mountains, you'll notice, is much greener than everything where you have been riding probably for the past 2 days. The rain shadow that comes from Idaho tends to hit this first, so that's why we're seeing this kind of weather as soon as we're climbing out. You'll notice they do a lot of trimming on these trails with tractors that have big side brush hogs. That's pretty common. What ends up happening when the trail is wet is you get all these bark chips all over it, and they become really slippery when it's wet. But it's really beautiful, and it smells really good. All the pine oil is in the air here, so it's just absolutely gorgeous.
This is what you can expect in Montana. I mean, you can go anything from nasty dust all the way to needing heated grips.
as we're riding up the mountain. I'm really enjoying it. It's a different kind of riding, different pace from what we've been experiencing before.
The last 60, 70 miles straight have just been super fun, and like it's a great time no matter what pace you're going.
The dirt is perfect. It's super flowy and wasn't twisting the throttle, but keeping the speed up in the corners and just getting in the flow.
Yeah, that was rad. I was having a blast chasing you. Super fun.
This road is really smooth, good traction, really relaxing. Big contrast from some of those jumps and bumps and pretty rocky roads we were on.
That's the type of road that everybody likes. It doesn't matter if you're an expert or a relative novice, you're gonna like that road. Good grip, twisty, fun. And not a lot of rocks to dodge or anything difficult, so everybody's gonna love it.
So I'm following Kiri and Inna. Man, they ride really, really well. Women are absolutely just as capable as men. So let's keep this up. Let's get more women on adventure bikes.
Kyle, what was it like riding with your dad on that section?
Very fun. Luckily he was behind me, so he's stuck with me.
I like riding behind him. It's fun to be able to talk on the Cardo comms, and we're just having a great time riding together.
This guy's fast. This is my old man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so one of the really cool things about this route is it could be ridden in June. Everything is open except the gravelly range, but the rest of the route is open.
We're gonna have high winds today. There's a possibility of trees coming down. You know, I have a little pole saw like this. It's not gonna work, but this might actually get us out of a jam. So, and it's a samurai sword.
We're on the Rock Creek Road, and it is absolutely incredible. The curvature of the turns is just perfect. There's so much grip in the road. It's absolutely incredible today.
Everyone's really happy today because we're scoring on these roads. There's no dust back in the dirt. It's not hot, and it's just like perfect radius turns. And we're getting up high in elevation, temperature's dropping, and the riding is just so much fun right now.
There's these broad water bars, and the bike was going, woo, woo.
Feeling better, yeah. Getting to know her. The foot pegs adjusting, yeah, helped tremendously. I can actually reach things.
As we're getting towards the end of this route, I was just thinking about how crazy the terrain has been and how much it's changed every day has been different. Just all the different experiences you have on a trip like this are really awesome, and it's just pretty special to be able to do one of these. And I think if you can carve out the time and do the route start to finish, it really just will be an even better experience than if you can only do a few sections at a time.
Woo! Dry Creek Road, man. This is probably my favorite road on this route so far. And the smells are so nice. I'm just loving it.
How's Team KLR doing over here?
Woo!
Very good.
Yeah, it's very cold, so I've been dropping my hands to my radiator to warm them up.
And what did Bryce say KLR stands for?
Kiri loves riding.
Deviled eggs, hoagie roll, and guacamole.
Chicken wrap and coffee need a little extra fuel and warm me up.
So we're here, and we're going to walk out here to the left below the main dam, and that's where the falls are.
Thompson Falls. Not much water flowing right now because the snowpack is pretty much gone, but it's still really quite something to see. I would love to come here in May and see what it looks like when it's really rocking and rolling.
This is the fish ladder. These guys must want to spawn because they didn't make this easy. It's a lot of work.
So it looks like 1,980 large-scale suckers have made it up the fish ladder so far this year.
Well, it looks like we get to make a little bit of a detour. We just ran into a temporary road closure for road construction. One of the things about BDR in the future with our ambassadors is we'll do our best to keep the information about what's open and what's closed up to date on the website, and hopefully keep you informed before you get to the closures, but we're going to make a little detour to get around this.
Flat tires, gonna happen to somebody, right? Guess it's gonna be me. It's actually a deep gash in the tire. Bryce and I didn't have any tire patch like sealant or anything, so we did have another tube, but I ended up taking the divider out of this Moscow pack. It's this kind of square, it's got like Velcro and whatnot. I folded it up into like a half moon and I shoved it inside the rim into the tire, and then I put the tube in over the top of that and then inflated it so you can kind of see inside there the Velcro and the plastic from the inside of the divider. So we ran the last 15, 16 miles on the gravel with it shredded like that, and it's still holding. So
we just rode the road into Fish Trap Lake. We just got here, and that was, I thought this morning was the funnest ride, and that was the funnest ride, at least for the part that I've been on. So super twisty, windy, and views the whole way. The mist just made it awesome.
Really fast, flowy, lots of turns, just so fun. For any level too. Even for a slow guy like me, you can have a blast on these roads.
I'm at a loss for words. I'm having so much fun. My brain is just like dumping endorphins. I'm just having the best time. Ain't nothing left on the center of that tire.
This is really a cool spot, really pretty. So if you're looking for a place to camp and spend a night, this would be ideal.
The riding has been so fun, quite fast, but fun corners, and we've just been having a blast. I think this is so far my favorite day on this route.
Fun roads, finally starting to dry out and heat up just a little bit. It's kind of sad to think we're kind of getting closer to the tail end of this trip, but we still got 5 hours of daylight and a lot of riding ahead of us, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much.
Trying to tell us we got to go ride the highway because we're going to run out of time? None of that.
5 hours of light left.
5 hours of light. We're doing the dirt.
I'm down for dirt.
He's a Stevens after all. Come on.
Yeah. BDR got to stay hard.
Oh, God.
Everyone should be aware that this decision might mean that we don't eat a proper dinner.
How's your dance coming along, Kyle?
Oh, yeah. Have you been practicing your moves?
I think you need to teach Inna the dance.
My dance is good. I just can't stand up and ride on the bike. All right, let's get some mud puddles or some wheelie jumps or something. Oh, there we go. Nothing too hard today, but everything very fun and lots of twists and turns.
You're looking for something a little more spicy for tomorrow, hopefully?
Yeah, we need some more spice in our life.
More spice in our life.
This is like pepper, we need like cayenne, you know?
Is Michael gonna be mad at me when I give him the GoPro tonight? Taking good care of the equipment.
The track today is 134 miles, and that includes everything, all the way to the hotel.
I can't believe it. It always goes so fast, but I'm excited to go home.
I'm kind of sad. This has been really fun.
It's pretty cold this morning. And then we just started working our way up this mountain. Now we're getting pops of views.
Maybe thinking I should have had a little more clothing on, and then when you get up here in the sun and you break out like into these openings and you can see for miles, how do you beat this? This is as good as it gets.
It's pretty dramatic views today. We got this cool low level hanging fog down in the valley.
I've ridden some up here, and it's probably one of my favorite spots. It gets really tight in the trees, but when you get to these overlooks, it's just absolutely gorgeous. You can see Canada.
I'm gonna get that front wheel off the ground if it's the last thing I do.
I think today's going to be a beautiful day of riding. We're higher up in the mountains. Good day ahead, and then it's back to work in the office, making this route a reality.
Yeah, so I came into this corner, slid through the mud, turned around here, and I was underneath it. I was able to crawl out real quick. We're all good. The heart rate is raised, so I'm trying to calm down here for a second. The last section was just this beautiful, flowy, quick turns through the trees, and had some music playing on the cardo, and it was just absolutely blissful.
It's like this clay type dirt, great traction unless it's wet. There's been a couple where you come in and it's like glass, and you're just like, ooh, don't drop it.
Oh God, you got me so good.
And Daniel was giving it the beans, and he roosted me with a rock and hit me right in the lip. Shortly after that, he hit me with a stick. Then after that, he got me twice with water.
Oh God. Oh, dude.
Water in the face.
Still dripping. My glasses are coated in water, but
Yeah, let's show him your pants.
Super fun. It was totally a dream come true to have Daniel on this trip, to get to follow him around on adventure bikes for a week, and to have him be a part of one of these film expeditions. I was having a hard time keeping up with him at times, and he was kind enough to give me some riding tips along the way, which was cracking me up. But yeah, it was super fun to have him.
We are on our way into Eureka right now, and this is one of the last stretches, and it's very overgrown right now. So if you're here in July, be aware that you're going to have some branches grabbing your handlebars, and there are some very solid, dangerous things sticking out that could take out a knee or a pannier or something like that. So be careful.
It's like being on a video game. There's like log, puddle, low-hanging branch, tree down, puddle, log. It's just alternate. Like every couple hundred yards there's a new hazard, and we were just saying it's just like some sort of adventure riding video game, but really fun.
Made it all the way up to Big Creek Baldy Mountain. We're here at this time. It's a great place to take a break, have some snacks. Pretty cool lookout up here behind us, back behind Bryce.
It's definitely like bittersweet. Yeah, it's amazing how 7-8 days goes so quickly.
This route starts with a bang and it ends with fireworks. The Montana BDR is just the perfect blend of fun riding, some challenging riding, some cool historical town that we have gone through, and obviously the views and the vistas that we all have in mind when we think about Montana.
The Montana BDR did meet my expectation. I think in terms of the fun factor, it totally delivered.
Sad to see the trip end. I'm thrilled that we're coming up to the point where we can finally share this. And I feel that the finished product that we have here is fantastic.
If you're a person who doesn't have time to spend all winter sitting in front of a computer figuring out a route, you can use the BDR routes, and you can be absolutely guaranteed that you're going to have a great experience, as good as anything you can find in that state, and you're going to enjoy it.
I think it's going to be a little sad when we have to load the bikes back into the truck and drive back to real life. It's going to be also a little bit good to not have stinky boots at the end of the day.
I think Montana is a very special state. Doing the BDR is kind of like an escape from life in a way. This definitely won't be my last BDR because I'm absolutely in love with it.
If I was to suggest this route to someone, I would suggest more days, maybe 10 days, 100-mile days, something like that.
I can't believe we're already here. I mean, I think the first 3 days, it really feels like, oh, this is gonna go forever. And now we're here, I'm like, oh shit, it's already over?
I could be back at my office sitting in front of a desk, or I could be out riding a motorcycle with a bunch of cool people. you know, in Montana of all places.
Kookanusa Bridge, tallest in Montana. Well, this is Eureka, sort of the last town on the Montana BDR. We're going to go up and end this route as close as we can get to Canada. This is the way it wraps up, a dusty forest road, mud. It's adventure right through to the very end.
We found a very remote border I don't think anybody really knows about, and so we're going to ride up to this place and park our bikes and walk out to the border and see it. This is something I think people are going to really enjoy. We are walking this very faint trail to Canada. There is a marker up here that will show the international border, and it's very clear when you're there because all the trees are cut. You can look all the way to the east and all the way to the west. This is it. This is it. There's the sign.
This is the U.S.-Canada border. We all made it. What a awesome adventure and a great relief to get it done.
Got it. Let's go! Successfully completed the Montana BDR. Woo! Let's go!
22nd BDR. Woo! Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the film. Certainly, there was a lively discussion in the chat. So in a few minutes, we'll do the Q&A with Bryce about the route. So if you have any outstanding questions about the Montana BDR, make sure you put them in the chat and we'll cover those. And then after the Q&A, stick around to see the trailer for the upcoming Adirondacks BDRX route. Let's see here. Huh? 10 winners. Yeah, so Robert is working on pulling the list of 10 winners, so we'll announce those shortly. In the meantime, Bryce, let's cover some of the questions from the chat. Yeah. There was a question on, like, how difficult is the route? Like, who is it really for?
Well, honestly, I don't feel like I'm very good at judging the difficulty myself, but the feedback we were getting from people that scouted and the people on the filming expedition that it was a solidly moderate level route, right? Mm-hmm. We have on our website, we categorize routes in 3 different categories. We'd put this one right in the middle. That's my take, but I don't know. What do you think? I mean, you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a good judge of like what's hard and what's not. I would definitely say this is a moderate route. It's very approachable. Yeah. The main route is not that hard if the conditions are good, right?
Yeah, as long as it's dry.
And then the 3 advanced sections, I did 2 of the 3 sections, and those weren't, those were doable, I would say. Mm-hmm. If you work as a team, those are doable as well. I know the plateau, Occidental Plateau is a lot harder.
Overall, the route, I would say it's not one of our easiest routes for sure, but it's also not one of the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. What is the best time of year to ride the route? Can people do it in June, or what's the time frame?
The limitation is that the gates going up into the gravelies don't open until July 1st. So especially this year, this is first year, people are going to be out going to ride this thing. I'd say wait until July. So, and there could be some other seasonal closures along the way. So as far as the season goes, July, August, September, very reliable. I would say October's the month where we just don't know. Snow can fly early, especially at 9,000 feet in the gravelies. If that happens, then I'm pretty sure the National Forest Service is going to start closing gates. So maybe the first half of October would be pretty reliable. After that, I just don't know.
Yeah, we filmed it kind of mid-July, and it was perfect.
It was great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Team, if there are any more questions in the chat, let us know. In the meantime, Bryce, somebody was asking about this awesome bottle you have on the table. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is a new product in our store. It's a water bottle that's double-walled. You can have cold drinks in here, warm drinks. And what we did is it's laser etched all the way around. and we provide a sticker sheet for the routes that you've done. You can keep track of it. So BDRs, BDRXs, you know, once you've completed it, put your sticker on here, and compete with your friends on which ones you've actually done. So it's pretty cool. It's $55 in our store, and it includes the stickers. So kind of a fun thing.
And we've got existing routes and then some future routes on there as well. So it won't be outdated for a while.
Right. And it's durable. I have one of these it's on my desk at home. I've washed it, and the stickers stay on, so it's pretty durable. It's nice.
Yeah, that's a cool product.
Mm-hmm.
Control room, do we have our winners? Okay, and any other questions that we can answer? All right, drum roll, please. We're announcing the 10 winners who have joined the supporter program in the last few days. And they are Scott Fitzpatrick, Gregory Garrison, Andrew Boyd, Brian Peters, Jeffrey Nolan, Shelby Sumter, Roger Culp, Mark Sabin, Jacob Borden, and William Yonk. Yes, congratulations. Thank you for supporting BDR. We will be in touch with you to set up the shipping of all 25 BDR maps, including the Adirondacks BDR route when it comes out at the end of May. So you might have to wait just a few weeks to make sure we give you the full collection of the maps. All right, any other questions that we can answer?
Temperature range, it really varies. I would say just bring all the layers that you need. And if you're camping, same thing, budget for cool evenings, and make sure you pack the bear spray because, and maybe even a way to secure your food while you're camping. That may even be a requirement in the national forest, but prepare for all temperatures. It could be very hot especially in the summertime, middle of August, and then could be cool in the evenings.
I have a question, Bryce.
Yeah.
In the Gravelies, is there dispersed camping?
I personally wouldn't disperse camp up there. The locals there tell me don't do that. There is one established campground. You could camp there, but just be bear aware. I mean, that is a place where apparently they have incidents, where the bears have been aggressive. And so just be wise if you're dispersed camping. And this is the Rocky Mountains, so this really goes for all of Montana. Just be bear aware. Do some research, be prepared, and remember that bear spray is the best deterrent.
I know Dan Rains was hoping to run into a bear, and he never did.
Yeah, Okay, so the question is more than one section in a day. The way this is broken up, I definitely think that's possible. And again, everybody's different. Some people go 100 miles a day, 150, 200. It's really up to you. I mean, this is really achievable. I think you could do the whole thing in 5 days if you're really trying.
Maybe. It took us 7 days, but we were filming, of course. But I think all of us said, if we were just riding it on our own without filming, budget for more days, because there's just so much to see, and you take it at your own pace and stop and enjoy the beauty of the route.
I agree. It's more fun that way. Yeah. But if you want to do this in 5 or 6 days, I think that's definitely doable.
Why didn't you go to Kalispell?
So I don't know if I think I alluded to it earlier. We were. Just repeat the question. Yeah. So the question is, why didn't you go through Kalispell? And I get this question all the time. Do you go through Pole Bridge? It's kind of a famous little bakery that has great cinnamon rolls. That's where I had the route going initially. And, we scout these things, and it's a gut feel. I just didn't feel right about that. And that's where Russ came in and suggested that we go west before we go north. And it was brilliant. The riding's better. And yes, we missed out on going by this kind of famous landmark of Pole Bridge and going through Kalispell. But in the end, the route turned out better. And I really think we did the right thing by not going basically due north out of Seeley Lake. So, yeah.
And do we have a BDRX in development in Montana?
We do. Okay. I won't tell you where it is, but we have a BDRX in Montana in the works. In fact, I think we have a second one kicking off right now.
Connector routes in the works.
Yes, thanks for asking. So the question is, do we have any connector routes for Montana? I had hoped that we'd have these available now when we just roll them out and launch them at the same time, but we have to verify a couple more things. So yes, we will have one from Montana to Wyoming and one from Montana to Idaho. So that's coming soon.
Nice.
Yeah. Any other questions?
There's a question about connector routes across all BDRs.
That's funny.
So connector routes across all BDRs. We have 9 connectors
we have
right
9
now.
now. There's more coming. I kind of felt like the question is, do you have one where you can connect one side of the country to the other? And I won't say anything about that, but maybe there's something in the works.
Put 'em on the green screen.
Right? Yeah. So someday we'll be able to connect everything up for sure.
Great. All right, so
Great.
we're going to wrap up this presentation. We're going to leave you with the Adirondacks BDRX trailer. We are releasing this route on May 28th. It's a Thursday night from the Americade Rally in Lake George, New York. So enjoy this trailer. It'll officially come out next week, but you guys are getting the first sneak peek. And then we'll come back to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay, here we go.
Enjoy.
Adirondacks Park is unique in that it's the largest state park in the Union, but it's almost an experiment in that when they created this thing and set the boundaries, it's about half and half public and private.
Not improved road, travel at your own risk. And we traveled at our own risk. That was awesome.
For a BDRX, this is a long route. Actually very close to some of our shortest classic routes. It's going to take you 4 to 5 days to do.
My favorite part of this whole ride, honestly, is the banter. Turn your comms down. There's going to be some language.
Heavy rainfall years or months, this route's going to be a lot more challenging. You're going to have some deep water crossings, more mud, more slick rocks.
Totally smells like shit. Oh.
So this is the start of Houlihan Road, which we've been promised is somewhat spicy.
We definitely had a habanero spicy pepper in there. We had a little Thai chili pepper in there. So we had 2 little peppery spots, but I feel like I rode like a bossette.
I feel like this is a really great route. We need more motorcycles in the Adirondack. It's a great day to be on a motorcycle, that's for sure.
You only get so many special days in the year riding, and this is one of them. I am so blessed. This is just a gift all day.
It felt good to be back in New York. I knew this route was coming. I had total confidence that the team that was putting it together was going to nail it, and they did. I want to come back and ride it again, and I will.
Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's going to be a great movie. I've ridden the route. I loved it. I'm pretty excited to launch that one. We want to say goodnight to everybody and thank everybody for being here, but I got to say something before we go. We have so many volunteers out there that are scouting for us and helping on BDRs. And I even know, like, some people are out clearing roads for the BDR right now, just to make sure that the riders, when the season comes up and starts, that they can actually ride through these areas. And we just cannot succeed with all the volunteer effort that we get from people. I mean, they do so much for us that it's just. And I hope people are watching tonight. I want to say thank you to you. I want to tell everybody that's watching this that we have a lot of volunteers that are helping us do all what we do. So thank you very much, whether you're scouting, whether you're working on roads and trails, whether you're riding things and giving us feedback, telling us when there's a closure, whatever it may be. So thanks to everybody that helps out.
Thank you all for your support and for tuning in tonight. We hope you had a good time, and we'll see you on the trail.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.